This is a brief video of the backstory behind the idea behind Survival German. My name is Eric Peterman. I am 65 years old. I live in Cape Town, South Africa, and I earn my living as a German teacher via Zoom. I have students in South Africa. I have students overseas. I was born in Germany in 1960. I am German. I lived there for the first 5 years of my life. Then I immigrated with my parents to South Africa, attended the German school in Cape Town, went to university, got an honors degree in German, a postgraduate teacher certification, and then taught German for a year at the Waldorf School. And yeah, so I've got teaching experience of several decades. And in those several decades, I've developed a bit of a love-hate relationship to the German language. I love the poetry, I love the literature, I love the culture, I love the food, I love the people. It's my background, I am German, but I absolutely have developed, over the years, I've developed a complete and utter loathing for German grammar. Because it is totally and unnecessarily complicated in ways and means which, it just makes no sense whatsoever. And if you try and teach it for decades to people and your students look at you and they go, but why? And you go, because that's how they did it, that's how they made it. Yeah, but can't we do it differently? No, unfortunately, that is the dative, that is the accusative, that's how it's got to be done. So, and to a native speaking German, this is not an issue because, as I said in the other video, fish in water, if you ask a fish about the water, they'll go, what are you talking about? If you say to a German, it's too complex, they've learned it. I learned it myself as a child. I knew when to use the dative and accusative without ever knowing what a dative and accusative was. But to anybody learning it, it is really, really complicated. Anyway, so a couple of years ago, I started developing this idea that why couldn't they just use, down here in South Africa, we have a beautiful language called Afrikaans. I adore Afrikaans. It is elegantly simple. It is expressive. It's beautiful. It's spoken as a first language by 7 million people and as a second language by another 10 million. And you can, although it's totally and elegantly simple, you can make beautiful art with it as well. Anybody who doubts that should read, let's say, a poem like Winternacht by Eugene Marais. It's an amazing language. And I thought, now, why couldn't the Germans, and I mean, there is obviously German, Dutch, Afrikaans, they're close. They're genetically not that far apart. Why did the Germans have to go off and do the exact opposite of simplicity and lose themselves in this grammatical nonsense, thicket, jungle, forest, whatever? And then one day I was looking at German news footage of the migrants in Germany, and it's irrelevant what political position one takes about it. In Germany at the moment, we are now in 19. This video is 2025, and in Germany at the moment there is a huge political conflict being fought out for migrants, against migrants, borders, keeping them out, letting them in, etc., etc. But all of that, this has absolutely nothing to do with that. This has something to do with the fact that there are hundreds of thousands of people in Germany who are now in Germany, and they are going to be staying in Germany. That's how it is. And most of them, 99.99%, want to integrate into German society, and to integrate into German society, they have to speak German. And then they find themselves sitting there in a German classroom in front of this Mount Everest, looking up at this Mount Everest of German grammar and going, what is this and what is going on here? And then I had the thought that, well, what would happen if one literally took the German vocabulary and basically, more or less, the Afrikaans grammar structures and merge them together, put them together? What would that do? And what it does, it gives you a much more simplified dialect of German, basically, much more easy to understand than Swiss German or Swabian or whatever. And the Germans, I ran my little proof of concept text, which is also, there's a video of that, the little cartoon video of the boy going into a sweet shop and buying chocolate. I ran that as an audio, I read it out to about 35, 40 Germans, and they all understood it perfectly. So this end product, the survival German, is, from a communications point of view, perfectly understandable. You speak like that to a German, they will understand you. And you, in turn, will understand 80, 90% of what a Hochdeutsch speaker, a standard German speaker, is speaking. You will get it, which is the beginnings of communication. You can always build on that and consider it as, and I consider it as a kind of Brückendeutsch. You could go from survival German to what I call sneaky German, which I came up with a couple of years ago, where you basically also get rid of a lot of the grammar, but in such a way that if you're talking to a German person, to somebody who is German, they don't realize that you did that. You've just got rid of 25% of the German grammar, but you kept the stuff that you really need, and it's not identifiable. So yeah, I came up with this idea, and I thought it was valid, and I checked with AI, and AI told me that this has never been done before, which made me go, that's weird. Why? There are very few original ideas in the world, and I'm not that clever that I would have like a sort of Einstein moment here. And I thought, why hasn't it been done before? And so I checked with a couple of senior German teachers, and they liked it. And I thought, well, maybe this idea actually can work. Why don't I put it out there? So the survival German for migrants, basically, that's open source. Take it, use it. If it works for you, I'm happy. And that's about it.